Yeah, I mean, I tell
Yeah.
a story in the book of this family that I saw as part of this movie Fed Up that I was in, where we had a small town in Easley, South Carolina, where there was a family of 5 living in a trailer on food stamps and disability, where they basically had almost no money, like $1,000 for food for a family of 5 for a month. And they basically were were struggling. The father had dialysis already from kidney failure at 42 from type 2 diabetes, which is 100% preventable. And the mother was 100 plus pounds overweight. The son was 16 and almost diabetic and 50% body fat. It should be 10 to 20. I had them all DEXA scanned. And they didn't know how to cook. I went into the kitchen and they had like everything was processed. Everything frozen in the fridge and cans was just full of sugar and processed and weird ingredients. You couldn't tell a corn dog from a Pop Tart if you just looked at the ingredient list. If you can't tell what it is by looking at the ingredient list on the back of the package, you probably shouldn't eat it. And like I have this slide I give when I do talks where I show a ingredient list of a food. And then I say, "Can anybody guess what this is? I'll give you $100." Nobody can guess what it is. It's a Twinkie. It has like 47 ingredients or something. And so I said to this family, like, let me forget about like lecturing you or anything. They really wanted to get healthy. I said, well, let's cook a meal together. So I'm on the board of the environmental working group. I gave them a guide called Good Food in a Tight Budget, which you can get online. And it shows you what are the cheapest vegetable, what are the cheapest meats, what are the cheapest, beans, grains, nuts, seeds, just real whole food.
Mhm.
And then what are the recipes you can use to make it? And we cooked a meal together and didn't have a cutting board. They didn't have a knife, had butter knife. We were cutting like butter knives to cut sweet potatoes in chunks. It was really hard. And we roasted sweet
Wow.
potatoes. We made turkey chili. We made salad with like real lettuce, not white iceberg lettuce. We didn't have like bottled dressing. We just had olive oil and vinegar, salt and pepper. And they like loved it. And they were like, I said, look, I don't know if this is going to work, but here's my cookbook on how to cook food. And here's a guide on how to eat for less. And they lived in one of the worst food deserts in America. On my way back home after the filming, I sent them cutting boards and knives. I ordered them on Amazon. I sent them to the trailer.
That's
And I said,
amazing.
"Okay, see how you do." So the mother texted me back a week later, said, "We lost 18 pounds as a family this week." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, amazing." At the end of a year, the father lost 45 pounds, got a new kidney because he couldn't get a new kidney because he was too overweight. The mother lost 100 pounds. The son lost 50 pounds. He ended up gaining it back because he needed a job and he went to go work at Bojangles, which is the only places they have down there are these fast food places. And then, he struggled. But then eventually he texted me and we talked and I coached him on how to, get healthy. And he lost 132 pounds. And he was the first kid in his family to go to college. A few years later, he wrote me an email, says, "Dr. Hyman, would you write me a letter of recommendation for medical school?" I'm like,
My
yeah.
goodness.
And now he's a
Wow.
doctor.